Much like the extrude command, the revolve feature creates geometry from a sketch. However, the revolve requires one more ingredient, the axis of rotation. Once you have a sketch, the next element is a center line, axis or internal line of the sketch. Here's a few examples. If we take this shape here, it's just a simple rectangle with a few different axes or lines that I've just placed on the screen. You don't need all these, but you do need one of them to revolve that around. So if you look at the shape here, if I take that and I revolve that shape around this axis here, you end up with a little shape that looks like a washer. Let's try it out. Let's go up to Features, click on Revolved Base or Boss. In this case here, my axis rotation is going to be this line here. And as soon as I do that, it gives me a preview of exactly what's going to happen. It's going to take that one shape, and it's going to sweep it and rotate it all the way around to create the shape. But if I wanted to change, for instance, instead of line 5, I can delete that out of there. How about this line over here? Notice I'm taking that same simple rectangle and I'm rotating it around a different line, but this time I'm getting a much more complicated shape just by changing the axis of rotation. And again, if I got rid of this line here, I could do it around this line as well. And again, get a much bigger shape, similar to the last one, but more complicated. It's just a simple rectangle going around an axis, just not perfectly straight. So it's giving this interesting cone-looking shape. The revolve command is extremely powerful and very simple to use. The other cool things we can do here is not revolve this all the way around. So I can click on either blind or any of these other options here. I can choose up to vertex, up to surface, offset from surface, or midplane. A lot of these features here aren't going to quite work yet because we don't have any other vertexes to extrude up to or other surfaces. So in this case here, the only other one that works is midplane. And if I do that, I can determine how big I want to go. And notice it goes both directions in the same amount. Say I want to go 180, and notice it just goes half the way around. Or if I want to go back to blind, I could tell it how many degrees I'd like to go in, maybe 90 degrees. And you can see I'm only revolving around 1/4 of the circle. I can also go in direction 2. And in fact, I can even turn this thing to a thin feature, which makes it a hollow tube. A lot of different options for the revolve command. When you're happy with that, go ahead and click OK. And there's my shape. And now I'm going to jump over to another sketch. This one here is a shape of a bottle. And again, I've got an internal shape. This one I don't have a center line at all. Besides this little line down here, I can actually use an internal line to the sketch. So let's go ahead and go to Features, come up here to Revolved Base or Boss. And for my axis rotation, I'm just going to choose this internal line here. I'm going to revolve that around its internal line, click OK, and just that quickly I can create myself a bottle shape. The rotate command is one of my favorites and more than likely will be one of yours. With a simple sketch and an axis of rotation, we can build elaborate shapes with just a few clicks of the mouse.